Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you the way that we store all of our homeschool resources. If you don't know me, my name is Jessie. I previously worked respite for special needs kids in New York City. I was laid off in March of 2020 due to the pandemic, and in September of 2020 I began helping families navigate virtual learning and homeschool with their kids. I sort of reshifted my focus and the purpose of my business a little bit to fill a void that I thought existed. I'm currently working with two children, one of whom turned 4 at the end of October, and the other one turned 10 at the end of December. Primarily what I share on this channel has to do with the younger of the two children because the older child already has curriculum from her school, and my primary tasks with her in tutoring are just to assist her with improving her writing and her language arts. I'm not actually designing curriculum and assigning work as much as assisting with work. But with the younger of the two, I do pretty much design everything that we use. I kind of choose the resources, I put them together, I make the lesson plans. I'm going to share more about our schedule in my next video, but this video is about the way that we store all of these little bits and pieces. It is a little bit more complicated for me, I feel like, because I don't actually live in the same house as this child. And so what I have to do is sort of cultivate these resources, put them together, and then do a drop to her so that I can then meet her on Zoom. So it's a little complex. It gets a little messy sometimes, but what I found that really works well for us is Latchmate storage bins. Now, I know that this is not really that unique. I know a lot of people that homeschool use these bins, but I feel like we use them just maybe a little bit different. And since we're now at the beginning of a new semester and I'm switching over all of our stuff from pre-K to level K primer, I thought this would be a good time to show you what's in our bins and how I organize them. And as you can see, because they do lock on the sides and have a handle, it's really easy then for me to take the resources that I've put together and just kind of drop them off on the porch to do a contactless delivery. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what was in our pre-K bin, kind of move some of those things over to our level K primer bin, and then show you what is in there. The reason that I didn't just use the same bin or recycle the same bin is, for me, I don't expect probably to have the same kids that I have this year, next year. I anticipate that both of the kids that I'm currently working with are going to transition back to full-time school when it's safe for them to do so. And so I wanted to definitely try as much as possible to keep my pre-K, level K primer, all of those things separate so that if I wanted to use them again at some point in the future, I could do that. So without further ado, let me show you what we have going on. Okay, so these are our Latchmate bins. The turquoise bin on the left-hand side holds all of our pre-K things, and the coral bin on the right-hand side is what I am now using for level K primer. As you can see, the left bin is considerably more full. We've been using that all this past semester, so it has all of our bits and bobs in there. And also, the Good and the Beautiful's pre-K curriculum has lots of little pieces, lots of fun games and activities. Some of those I think I might actually recycle into level K primer. We've actually really enjoyed the activities, and there aren't really any in level K primer. So I have picked up some games and some cards and things for us to use with level K primer, but I think I would like to keep some of our same resources. So what I'm going to do is just move. First, I think I'll show you what's in each of the bins, and then I'm going to kind of move them around. Now, I get my Latchmates from Michael's, and I always buy them when they're on sale. If they're not like 40 or 50% off, then I don't buy them because I just think it's silly to pay $16 or $15 for a storage bin. So I wait until they're on sale. And usually by the time that they are on sale, I have enough things from Michael's that I would like to order that I can also qualify for free shipping. And so that's how we usually procure ours. Okay, so like I said, this bin is our pre-K bin. If you haven't seen these before, which I'm sure you have because I know that they're very popular, they just pop open on the sides here. It's actually really sturdy. This is a really heavy bin, and the bin where I'm kind of holding all of my science units is really, really heavy, and I've never had a handle break or a lid pop off, so they're pretty sturdy. I've been really happy with the quality. Then the lid just lifts off here. Now, they do make these latch mates as well that don't have this tray piece in the top. It's just a bin and a lid, and they still close on the sides. I actually have some of my personal things in bins like that. But these are great for homeschool because they do have this handy dandy tray on the inside. So in our tray for pre-K, we have these little containers, which actually came from the Dollar Tree, and these hold all of our game pieces that came with the pre-K course curriculum. And here's another one as well. These are like the perfect size. They're actually snack containers, but they kind of float on this rail here, which allows you, as you may be able to see, to still like store things underneath. So that's really nice. And then in this main tray, I just keep a pen for myself, a bunch of these great pencils that are like the chunky ones for little hands who are just learning to write for her, as well as some of these very large, like the thick and chunky Crayola crayons, and also some flashcards. We were doing Mammals for Littles in pre-K, so I had these that I had picked up at, I think, Dollar General for, as you can see, only $1. And so it made a lot of sense just to kind of chuck those in, give us a little something extra to do. Across the back row there, we have just another little game. This is actually matching, and it's Noah's Ark theme. This came in a pack from Dollar Tree. And safety scissors here as well in this top corner. This middle one is actually an I Spy bag. We have really loved having this. Like, it's a nice little fidget for her if I'm reading or something. And I do want to continue to incorporate this, but I'm going to buy one that either has like arthropods, like butterflies, or maybe, I don't know, maybe even arachnids, maybe spiders. I'm going to purchase another one that kind of goes with our theme. We were doing, like I said, Mammals for Littles in this, with this pre-K unit. And one of the books in there is about a kangaroo. It talks a lot about Australian animals. So I picked up this cute little I Spy bag that had koalas, but I am going to get another one now that matches the theme of our arthropods for littles. This is one of the things that I think is going to make it into our Level K primer bins. And these are the letter memory cards that come with the pre-K course unit. So these are super cute. There are several ways to play. You can match like the uppercase and the lowercase. You can match the sound with the animal or the object, because there are also, as you may have seen, some like little cards like this that have animals or items. So I think those are probably going to make their way into our new bin. Our crayons definitely also have to make their way into our new bin. Our scissors have to make their way. And I guess I didn't show this last thing. This is a dice, which is also part of the pre-K activity pack, which we are sadly no longer using. I'm just going to pull a few things out of here that I want to reserve to put into our new bins, and then I will show you underneath of the tray. So underneath of the tray comes all the way out, as you can see, and underneath of the tray, I just have all of our course stuff. Now it's kind of a mess because we've been pulling from it, but it has our handwriting. It has, we did a seasons unit. I'll link that video down below if you want to see what we purchased for that, if you're still doing pre-K or even Level K primer. Sorry about the lighting. It did not like me tipping that bin up like that. It also has, as you may be able to see down there, our flip books and our course books. And so these are all of the things. And this is also our math curriculum. And I need to take this book out because this is the one that we're going to be using this semester for Level K Primer. Yes, so I'm going to slide this bin out of the way. Sorry about the atrocious noise. You can see my potions shelf in the background there. I'll talk probably more about that later, but I inherited some bookshelves and I decided to make a little Harry Potter bookshelf. So I have a potion shelf and a Care of Magical Creatures shelf and a Gringotts shelf, and all of my first edition books are up there as well. So maybe I'll show that at some point in the future. Now, this is our new bin, and it's the same thing. It's just a latchmate, just a different color. It still has these little clips on the side, the lid that goes on, and the tray that pulls out. So I really don't have a lot in this tray yet because, like I said, I'm going to be recycling some of our items. I have resisted with everything in my little body doing paint, having paint in our kit. I know that it's like a recommended supply or resource on, I think, pre-K and definitely on Level K Primer. I've really resisted doing it because I'm not there to clean up the mess. Like I said, I sort of do a drop of these things, and crayons just seemed easier for us. And then we do have some like water wow books where she can get the feeling of like holding a paintbrush, dipping it in water and painting, quote unquote, but without the mess. So I've been really resistant to paint, but I did have some paint left over. I did a Hanukkah project with another child and I had some paint left over, and I figured this was like as good a time as any. So I do have here just a couple of little colors just to get us started. We can work on the basics of mixing colors as well to create different shades. So just this blue and this yellow, these are just little pots of Crayola finger paint. This particular child is like really into tape. I'm not really sure what that's about, but she's really into tape at the moment. And I had some leftover tape from like all of my Christmas wrap. And so I've put one of my spools of tape here, and of course a glue stick for all of our cutting and pasting activities. I showed these yoga cards in my last video, but they're just, I found these at Dollar Tree. They're just little yoga cards. And like I said, I don't think we're going to get to the advanced ones this year. So I'm actually only going to put the beginner cards back in. So there are those. Then I also have, of course, the crayons from the other bucket that needs to go in, a pen for marking, as well as her pencils. And I'm going to put her safety scissors back in. So as you can see, a lot more sparse than the previous tray. Hopefully you can see anyway, a lot more sparse than the previous tray. But we will be adding as things continue on. With pre-K, a lot of these kind of bits and bobs came with the curriculum. And so I'm going to have to sort of figure out as we go along what things I want to order and what things are going to work for us. Then just like in our pre-K Latchmate, I just have all of our bits and pieces. It's like our course books, as well as our flip books, our first readers, and I have that beetle game there, which I also showed in my last video. It's just like Cootie. And I'm going to add our math curriculum. I'm going to put the tray back and pop the lid on, and then this will be ready for me to pick up. I'm actually dropping this today. Just pick it right up and take it with me and do a contactless delivery. So that's, I think, why Latchmates work so well for us. I really wanted to think of this like great, creative, really beautiful way to display all of our curriculum. But because I don't live in the same house and because we're doing this sort of drop-off kind of thing, this really was like the solution that worked really well. And again, I know it's not unique to me, but I feel like we're using it in a little bit of a unique way. So this is everything that's in our Latchmate. This is how I keep all of our pre-K curriculum well, I guess now Level K Primer, all of our homeschool curriculum together, both pre-K and Level K Primer. This is what I do. And so everything is in there, and I will be showing you my next video, just talking a little bit, just like kind of doing a sit down video and walking you through our schedule. And when I do that, I'll kind of explain how like we implement these things. Like we do not do handwriting every day, for example. We kind of space things out. We don't do math every day. We kind of space things out. Oh, which reminds me, the other thing, in addition to the I Spy bag that I'm still going to pick up, which I think I'm going to have direct shipped from Etsy straight to her. The other thing that I need to pick up are some little math manipulatives. We do still have our counting unicorns from last time, but I would really love to purchase either some little wooden cubes or some river rocks for counting, and that will go just in one of these little trays here on the top. So those are like the last two things that I have to pick up, I think. And as we continue forward, I will definitely let you know what books we're reading this semester as I kind of figure that out myself and purchase those. I will be doing a haul to show you everything that we're using. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to someone, or at least interesting. It's just such a strange setup, I feel like, you know, to be cultivating curriculum for a child who isn't your own and a child that you don't reside with. It's a really kind of strange format. It feels strange even for me. So hopefully this gives you a little bit more insight into how our world is functioning at this moment. And I look forward to seeing you next week when we are going to discuss our schedule. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week.